Yeah.
So how's your progress going? Are you making headway there with your courses? I imagine you would be.
Yeah, I'm making headway. You know, when you start a new class, you've you've got to have that sort of aha moment that sort of everything else then works around. And
I would have thought it would have been a bit tricky because basically, as you've said before, you've got half an hour to get your message across, then half an hour to just
interact.
Socialize after that.
Yeah, or during it. It's not actually necessarily after it, but it's during the questions. And yeah, it's first to be clear in one's own head what you want to get across, and it's got to be productive for somebody who has a whole different background to you and I, and then we've got to, once we put it down, we've got to now make it simple so that it's something that they can move on with, and so there's some very big steps in that process. Getting the original sort of thoughts together and what's going to be beneficial. I think it's going to be a work in progress for quite a long time to come. But I need to get the first classes out. I need to practice them. I need to start getting some feedback. And then I'll evolve it. And
I think the classes themselves will give you some feedback, won't they, basically?
Yeah, they do. You get, first of all, you get feedback from the interaction. Then and each class is very different because sometimes you have people who've never been in business for themselves, and other times you've had people who've been in business all their lives. Okay, so you deal with those classes, and so that's a difficult part of it is the extreme diversity and experience in each class. But once I get feedback by interacting with them, then I start getting a feeling, and that's what I work on is the feeling. But then at the end of the class, I don't get to see at the end of the class exactly what it is, but they've got to give feedback to get set up. So they've got to rate the class, the content of the class, and they've got to rate the guide, and then it's not a matter of got to. It's a voluntary thing, and then they can put a comment if they want to. And
you don't see any of that feedback, eh?
I do. I see one feedback. I don't know how it's selected or not, but I get one feedback that I can see. But I'm told that I should be seeing all the feedback. So I'm not, and neither is Sue. So I think that probably is going to be changed when they're busy upgrading their platform at the moment. So yeah, then we will be able to see everybody's feedback. So we'll have those two ways of getting feedback, and then from that, there's perhaps the third, and that's my feedback to myself. To see where, because I guess somebody who's never been in business actually, has, and let's say it's very vocal by their nature, might contribute a lot to the discussion, but take us back to, the sort of beginning of the beginning of the beginning of a business. And
I don't know if it'll be too much of a risk, because the nature of what you've developed, or what I've seen you develop so far, you've done such a good job on it. I think that, you'll just take them on the journey. So I don't think you'll have too much risk associated with people wanting to cycle back to the start all the time. I think they'll get it.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll see. You've seen class 1, and last time I think I showed you class 2. From the idea getting started. Now class 3,
and then the outline, I think, for the 5 sessions.
Yeah. So I've done class 3. I finished that last night, And I had 3 get set up classes today, so I only really got started this afternoon on getting into class 4. So what's today? Wednesday. So I hope by the end of tonight, I would have done class 4. And then class 5 is really a discussion. So,
well, class 5 is almost them presenting and sort of a group discussion, isn't it? Really, sort of.
Yeah, it is
almost feedback from the group. So there's not a lot of structure you need to do in that, except maybe a bit of a recap, perhaps at the end or something like that.
Yeah, but, I think she wants me to, in case people are not going to come to that class and give feedback and so on, then I need to have something ready, an agenda to maybe, as you say, now you just give me an idea, just do a recap on the 4 classes,
Yeah.
It could be that. So yeah, it won't be difficult to hold some, but I'm pretty sure there will be at least one person that will come along and want to share everything with me. And so that's great. But if there are 20 of them that want to share everything with me, then I've got to have some sort of structure in that 5th class. Anyway, that is.
Yeah, well, I think that's not too bad though, because really, if you were going to limit the amount of time that they could provide the feedback on just because of the volume, you'd probably just focus on their grand purpose, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So
I will, but I'm keep going back to the ground purpose, because now on class 4, it's about maintaining the momentum. That's the title of the course, of the class. Sorry, and
because for me, I think that the grand purpose is really the creative expression, really.
Yes, it is.
So if you talk about creative society, I mean, this is an expression of that, really. So yeah.
Yes, it is. Spot on. And so anyway, yeah, I'm there and I'm doing it. This morning I lost my voice in class.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I got a frog in my throat, or I think that was stuck in my throat. I woke up with it actually.
Shouting at the students, were you? So.
I don't know what it was, or whether it's a bug in my throat or something. But anyway, I've got the Manuka lozenges that are. I only found them here in Australia. Really, very good for a tickling throat or a dry throat or something that's taking your voice away.
Yeah.
If you ever used them.
I don't know if I have. But anyway, that's by the by.
You don't get many in a box, so they're quite expensive. But they work.
Yeah, well, Manuka honey is expensive anyway, isn't it?
Yeah. So I don't have any Manuka honey again. I had some last winter, and I'd mix some in some warm water and lemon, and take that. But now with these classes, I must learn to speak softer, because I get excited and I can hear myself. I don't hear myself until afterwards, that I'm very loud. Yeah. Anyway. So
very good.
Yeah.
So the other option, perhaps, with your class 5 is you could maybe ask a bit of a left field question of them. Like a creative society type question, like, ask them a hypothetical response, because it'd be interesting to start to get people to think about creative society as a fundamental shift.
Right.
Because a couple of things that were sort of exercising my mind there through the week was I watched a video of Russell Brand that he put out in response to the Pentagon announcement that, yes, there are UFOs, and they, it was basically an admission, that yes, we know about alien life and blah, 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 blah. And he it was really quite a good video, actually. And he basically said, well, isn't that an exciting point in human history? Because we can, at the same time, particularly if the assumption is that they are of superior intelligence or, you know, different technologies and all that sort of thing. He said, won't it be a wonderful thing that we can throw away all of those limiting assumptions that we've grown up with, you know, and he refers to the big reset, you know, that's what he keeps on talking about, the big reset that's happening.
Yeah.
And he said, wouldn't this be a wonderful catalyst to throw away all of that, you know? So if we have access to technologies which enable us to do things that we never thought was possible or would be against the laws of physics, and introduction to materials that, you know, we'd never seen before and could be transformative in terms of, you know, our life and our lifestyle.
Yeah.
And sort of got me thinking, and like with the creative society type thing, a little bit on the back of what I was talking about at the end of when we spoke on Sunday. And wouldn't it be a provocative question to pose to people to say, so how do you think your renewed life purpose would operate, for example, in an environment where there was no money, that money ceased to exist?
Yeah, yeah, very good. Very good, yes. Yeah.
So even whether you think that might happen or may not happen, the mental exercise of going back and having a look at your grand purpose, you know, is it audacious enough?
Yeah.
Or is it a safe grand purpose?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's not about whether it's right or wrong. It's just a matter of, you know, so in your sunset years, how adventurous are you going to be?
Yeah, that's a very good idea. That's I'll remember that.
And it's a safe discussion, because
It's
invariably,
hypothetical.
well, that's right. And invariably, a lot of people will be just sort of saying in their own minds, oh, well, never happen. You know, of course it won't happen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But what if it does?
Yeah, but just hypothetically, because now you put in your purpose into, even though I told them, you know, in class 1, that it's not about money and you mustn't think about money and so on. And they get that, but you don't know deep down how seriously they get it.
You know, you look at what's happening around the world at the moment. I mean, it's such a dynamic environment. You know, there's strong talk today I saw of a military alliance between Russia and China. You know, so
that's interesting.
You know, so talk about world domination. You know, so
yeah. And what's the purpose of that?
I think it's directed at toppling the US, to be honest with you. I think that's pretty much the sole focus of it, you know. So
yeah.
But it has huge implications for countries like Australia and presumably others. You know, because of, you know, if you're not with us, then you must be against us sort of mentality, and that.
Yeah. Well, Australia doesn't make any bones about that, I don't think.
No. And the other thing too is like just what's going on over in India at the moment. I mean, it's a catastrophe unfolding before our eyes, isn't it? You know. So.
Over where? Sorry.
In India.
Oh, India. I thought you said where you are. Okay.
No. In India. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's.
So what's unfolding there that you know?
Oh, just the second wave of corona that's going through there. You know, they're talking about 350,000 new cases a day and something like 5,000 deaths a day, and just it's just horrible.
But,
I guess not unexpected given the high density population and so on, but just the same, it's just horrible.
You know, speaking on that, you know, here they'd never had any more outbreak of those 2 that were in trouble, but he's still keeping us locked down or half locked down.
Oh yeah, how long? Well, another couple of weeks or something, is it? Or?
I don't know, quite honestly, what it is, because it like changes every day. He makes another speech and so on. Now he's talking about creating a center, like North Australia somewhere where the international planes landed and at this military base, and now he wants to create something like that in Western Australia.
Okay.
So the planes can come in there and land, and people can isolate for however long he decides they need to. And so he announced it yesterday. Just I happened to be listening to the news.
He's got plenty of room. So.
Yes, plenty of, but we've got the Chinese runway up north anyway. So and there if they want to, But yeah. Anyway. Tomorrow, we've got to go to the South African consulate and get our fingerprints done. And then we've got to submit those to the South African police to see if we've got clear records. And we've got to get all that back in no time at all. And nothing's happening quickly in South Africa. So I don't know quite how that will unfold, but tomorrow is the start of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is this relating to your visa application, or just for
visa application? It's for renewing. We got a bridging visa, and now they said no, there's no more bridging. You've got to now apply for an original visa, and we can't even sort of renew the other one. It's from scratch. So we've been through medicals and all sorts.
It's a horrible process, isn't it? It really is quite dehumanizing. It really is.
It is, and then there's our main visa of Sue's, wanting parental visa. And what is it now? It's 5 years, and they haven't looked at it yet. I mean, it's really not. It's not like that. But I've got a good lifestyle. I'm happy. And that's the main thing, If I wanted to grouse about things, I've got plenty of things around the world that we can grouse about, And there's no need to. I wake up feeling okay, So,
yeah, that's important.
Yeah. When as soon as all the lockdowns finished, and we must visit each other, I think.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah. So anyway,
it's tricky, from Perth, because I mean, like this last episode, for example, is a classic case. Is there were flights in the air on the way back into Queensland, and the Premier here in Queensland said, oh, well, when those planes land, those people will have mandatory 2 weeks in hotel isolation. And the first they hear about it is when the plane lands,
That's hectic. Yeah, it is, really. And that's why our Premier says he wants to do away with this hotel isolation. That's why he wants
I think it's a great idea, because it just doesn't work. In fact, it seems to almost be the cause of most of the outbreaks.
Yeah. Here in Western Australia, I guess we've got various islands, not only Rocknest, but other islands that, you could, people could enjoy their time out for 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly right.
And swim in the sea and walk around and, just have no contact with the outside world.
But even then, I still don't think they fully understand it, because it seems to me that some of the outbreaks, some of these people have been in isolation for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And they get released from the isolation, and lo and behold, then they're starting to test positive again. So who knows?
It is very, very, very mysterious.
Yeah.
I've even stopped even thinking about my conspiracy theories now. I hardly watch any news now. I used to watch everything that was happening in America. Now, if I do it once in a week, it's a lot.
Yeah, well, you're right, because there's no point, because where does it take you? I mean, it doesn't take you anywhere positive, really, does it?
No, it doesn't. You see, I want to hear when there's some positive news, like Biden trips and dies, You know, they like to hear that.
Well, be careful what you wish for, because you never know the one coming along next behind him, you know. But anyway.
Yeah, she's just as bad as he is. But I don't think he even knows who he is. Okay, and we don't know how many clones he's got either. So
No, they all seem to be pretty good at that, don't they? You know,
yeah,
so.
yes. So, anyway, and I heard they were flooding all the tunnels under the White House now. They've taken out all the children that were captured right underneath the White House, deep down. And but whether that's true, I couldn't care two hoots anymore, as long as nobody's getting hurt. Okay.
Well, that's right. That's right.
Particularly children and women. Sure.
Yeah, it's a difficult issue in some ways. You know, it's on that gratefulness forum that I participate on every day.
Mm.
You know, today's question was really about a similar sort of thing, in the sense that, you know, like some people talk about gratitude, but it manifests itself as almost like a selfish expression, because it's either looking through rose-colored glasses, but for your own benefit. You know, it's like this positivity sort of mindset, but it doesn't result in positive action. It's just, oh, you know, kind of, I'll just shut that out by being positive. You know, so, whereas, you know, my take on it is that being grateful, you know, needs to apply every day, irrespective of whether it's a bad day or an ugly day or a good day. You know, so
Right.
and I sort of thought, you know, well, the notion around that is that if it's a bad day or an ugly day, you know, there's two probably prevailing lines of thought. You know, as one of them is, you know, it could always be worse. You know.
Yeah.
And the second notion is that it is what it is, meaning seeing it for what it is.
Yeah.
And in my mind, either or both of those notions enable you to let go and untangle yourself from whatever's unfolding before you, you know. So, you know, and for me, that's an expression of gratitude, you know. So
Yeah, and also, you know, exactly what you're saying, but just saying it in a different way. We talk about, you know, oh, so the universe has dished us up today. Okay.
yeah.
You know, where to next, and what's this leading to? Obviously, clearly something beneficial to the process of evolvement. You know, so it doesn't really matter. It's something really good, something really bad. Okay, it's all a process of uncovering the next moment, which is helping the universe to evolve, assuming you don't close the doors by reacting to whatever it is.
That's right. Yeah.
Good or bad, you can react to good by being egotistical.
Exactly right. You know, and that's what I find in one sense, like, you know, without sort of being judgmental, but I look at some of the responses on these forums and you know, day after day after day, you know, it's all about me. You know, it's just all about me.
Yeah.
No, I just sort of think, okay.
If they are who they are, eh?
Yeah, well, I mean, if that's their worldview, then that's their worldview, you know. So
yeah.
No, it's interesting, but anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what else has been exercising your mind? Anything profound at all? Or?
Not really. Our bandicoot is sort of coming in quite regularly now when the dogs are not around, and
into your garden.
Into the garden, yeah. And I've started giving it. I saw that, you know, we put some bird seed up, which is the first time we've done that. And the birds came and ate some and dropped some on the ground. And it came and ate what was on the ground in front of me. I was only 2 meters away. And so I started feeding it now some seeds rather than dog pellets. It really gobbles them up, every last one of them.
Is it quite fearless, is it?
No, it's very fearful, very fearful. You know, it'll come near me as long as I'm not moving quick. I talk loud to it, okay? You know, like I'm talking to you now, and I chat to it. But as soon as let's say I'm drinking a cup of coffee while I'm talking to it, and I'm sitting on the veranda, I put my cup down a bit too quickly, then it's gone. Okay, but I put my cup down slowly, and then it doesn't bother. But any quick movement scares the hell out of it. Okay, and it runs. So, but I've learned that over the months, and also I use a very sort of low tone, gentle voice when I talk to it as well. So, yeah. So it's quite pleasant.
It certainly is.
Yeah,
certainly is. Very interesting.
yeah.
So, did you want to talk any further about your and your course, or are you on track with it? You're comfortable with where you're heading with it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to share class 3 with you because I haven't shared that yet. If you'd like to
Sure.
through it, okay, and see it. Let me just see. Let's see where it's going to be the easiest to pull it from, because I have, well, maybe I've got it open. Let me see. And you've done idea class 2. Sorry, I can't see these tiny icons. No, discover starts with us. Oh, maintaining, that would be the one, I think. Let me just see. Yeah, let me just maintaining momentum. Yeah. Yeah, the first one was discovering the idea. The second one was getting started with the idea. Then the third one was, is this the third or the fourth one? I haven't actually entitled it yet. I'm not sure. I'm just so tired. I'm not sure which one. Let me just look at my directory. No, 4 is maintaining momentum. So it's actually 3 that we want. That's 4 is the one I'm working on now. That's why it's open. Oh, yeah. 3 is developing channels of communication. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what's come up now? Can you see that one? Developing channels?
No, not yet. I've still got the maintaining momentum one.
Okay, let's just stop that and share this one. Come on in. Come on. There we are. Channels of communication. There it is. Okay. You see it?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I just look for images, free images on the internet, and just to decorate. I can't always find something that's appropriate. But
there's a very good website that I get a lot of images from. It's called Unsplash, I think it is. Unsplash or Upsplash, something like that. Unsplash, I think it's
Unsplash. Okay, I haven't looked there for a long time. I do know it. I've used it before, but I've forgotten all about it. Okay, Google and see.
Unsplash.com. Yeah, it's normally quite good actually.
Yeah.
And it's all royalty-free stuff and everything. So
yeah. It doesn't have the. I remember last year when I was using it. It doesn't have the variety. And you sort of search for something, and it gives you things that are totally irrelevant to what you searched for. But let me go back to it now and see if there's something more appropriate, because you can also Google for royalty-free pictures, and you come up with them. So yeah, let me take you through. It'll probably be easier if I just create a slideshow. and then I can just click it through. Okay, so that was roughly the agenda that we came up with. That is Deval, and also the new guy now in Eastern Australia, Mark. So I tweaked it a little bit, and then started looking at. That was a nice image I came up with there, basically about what are platforms, talking about different platforms. Now, this might be an overkill a little bit, but I think the reason I put it in is I thought there would be, people are going to be doing things, and then they need to go to a platform that connects whatever they're doing to potential customers, you see. So then I left it in. But there's so many different ways of saying what you want to say as well. Okay. Here I looked at different business models. Now, assuming you let's say don't go with a platform and you're going to do things your way, there are various ways of marketing yourself or communicating yourself. And I listed them down here that I thought were probably the most likely. Okay. And I'm still not sure. It's really.
I think that's a good list.
You think so? Yeah. I was thinking about, once I've been through it and I've got people's ideas of what they're doing, then that's the time to manipulate this particular slide.
Yeah, that's right. You'll get feedback as to what people are gravitating to.
Yeah. And you find out how big or small or meager their offerings are in regards to a product, So that was, I thought I would talk a little bit about each of those, just so they get a feeling of what it is. And I decided to put this image in because I'm surmising that people are going to try and sell directly to their customers. Okay.
I think you're right.
Anyway, so that was the business model. Then how to get the word out and to tell people about your idea. So I'm now focusing on, in fact, I'm going to share this with you in the next slide, because this was really something that I've always read from time to time in unusual places when it comes to marketing. But anyway, I'll get to there now. That just made me think of it, and I saw this woman's face. So social media is your business. So as opposed to, you've got a business, and you've got to, if you're going to work from home and you're old and you're not going to go out now, social media is your business. You've really got to get to know social media. So then I just give some tips about social media, and so just sort of an overview, and I might change those overviews a little bit before the end of tonight, but otherwise I'll wait till the first class. And the key, and you and I know, because you and I spoke about it, is that you need to build followers. Okay. And you offer them regular content and so on. So I'll talk a little bit about that.
I'd probably put the word in regular valued content, because there's a lot
regular
of
what, sorry?
Valued content, because there's a lot of tripe gets pumped out in there.
Okay, yeah, I'll change that. I've got it in presentation mode at the moment. I can't.
It's not just about spewing anything out there, So
yeah, okay. Okay. So then I've sort of given some hints about engaging the local community through social media. Okay. Now the emphasis here, and that's what I wanted to tell you, is it's about local, geographical community. Okay. In other words, you're now going to put yourself out there with your location as being Perth, Australia. Okay. For example. And you start your whole focus on the people on the social media platform that you're using or app that you're using that is in the same suburb even as you, okay? Very local, same, not even town, but as close as possible to you as you can, okay? And then that is, okay, I'm going to emphasize that when because there's certain things I need to emphasize so that it sticks in their mind. So you're just not coming onto social media and throwing it out there to the world, okay? Which I think most people do, quite honestly, from what I can see. But here, you've now got a strategy. You're going to particularly follow people that are local. You're going to try and get local people to follow you. And if allowed, you'll go to events that are local, and people might even know you locally because you went to school with them or you went to work with them. So there's a certain trust and a knowingness and so forth. So anyway, so that's really what the first part of that about. And then some basic ideas of, broadly speaking, how to communicate. I've just put down 8 things there that sort of run through to be broad. And then I'm continuing with that, but I'm now saying, all right, you now need to, because there are so many options open to you, I suggest that you start with Instagram, okay? And you start with the business Instagram, and then you do a Get Set Up class on the business Instagram. So now you've got one class that's going to be in line with your business that you're learning here, and that's going to focus specifically on how to market yourself through Instagram, okay? And sorry, I must just get in my throat again. Let's just drink some water. And then I say, once you've done that and it's up and running, and you can then do a Facebook business account. And again, there is a Get Set Up Facebook business class that they can go and take. I don't give either of those at the moment. And then finally, the Twitter account, because I can see how eventually I will link all these together for them. Okay, but they need to take one at a time. If you can look at these old dollies in the picture, they're not going to, suddenly rush off and learn all of them. But so I'm saying start just with Instagram, okay? And start doing the things from the previous slide, and then the types of things you're going to be doing in order to pick up momentum on Instagram and to get followers on Instagram. I've listed 13 things there, okay? Use Instagram Reels, which is the 1-minute video. And I think you can say just enough. The 15-second stories, come and they go too quickly. These Reels stay around and you can save them and you can build on them. So, so you can optimize your profile for search. And, the business class will take them through that, but they need to do it. Then IGTV is Instagram television. You can create a series. Those can be 1 hour long or up to 1 hour long. Okay, so anything from 1 minute, up to 60 minutes. And, you now, start creating some video that is given some careful thought to, or you pay somebody to help you. Anyway, so I've listed all these things here, and that sort of gives them now, they're going to go and learn the Instagram class. Here are some things you probably won't find in the class, but it's an emphasis on what you should be, like number 6, create authentic, shareable content, okay? And you're going to be doing that every day. So, and that's the end of it, okay? So
I think that's really good, because I like the emphasis on getting them to express their own personality, because the side benefit of that, if it's authentic expression, is no one can copy it, because there's only one you know. So
spot on. Yeah.
you know, so that if they're worried about someone stealing their ideas, then if you've created a following, you know, where in effect you're the brand, and your unique expression, then you know, you make yourself quite bulletproof in that sense, you know. So.
Yeah. Okay, so you're comfortable with that one?
Yeah, I think that's really good. You've covered a lot of area there, but I think that's really good. Yeah.
It's simple as well, you see, so that they're not going to get, hopefully not going to get confused, or, you know, find themselves. And I've sort of taken it very simply. You know, you're going to use social media, use Instagram, do these things. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's really good. Really good.
Maybe just share the other one with you that I started today, that I shared it a moment ago by mistake, but let's just go back and let me close that one also. Don't get confused with that one again. Okay, so this one is let's see, yes, one. There it is. Okay, so this is maintaining momentum. How do you like my image?
Okay. Very good. Falling off the edge of a cliff. Yep.
Keeping momentum going. I could cut it off a little bit before the edge comes, so that it looks like it's just
no, it's good.
Is it all right?
It is good.
Yeah. So yeah, this, as I say, I only started this today, and so that's a sort of rough agenda. Just read it for yourself, because my throat's getting hectic.
So did you work out what that third point is all about? That create a schedule.
Yeah. Okay. Let me take you to the slides. Okay. I'll take you through all the slides. This is just one I put in at random. I actually found this on the internet, and I thought this really says something to start off this class.
Yeah.
Okay. Just read it for yourself.
Yep. No, that's good. Yep.
Okay. So it like summarizes the class. Okay. And here I keep remembering your why. Okay. From class 1. Okay. And I repeat that phrase from class 1. The purpose of life is a life with purpose. Okay. And then I'm going to ask them, what was your intent? You know, I want to get interaction now. Okay. And to see that they can remember what the intent was, and why did you want to work with your idea? What gave it meaning? Okay. And is your purpose worth pursuing? Perhaps you were too eager, you know, being polite. So, yeah. Then evaluate the how on your journey. This is where I say to you, you know, from your class, you decided on many hows. You listed them in class 1. I could do it this way, that way, and the other way, okay, in order to how to express your purpose and idea. And so you need to assure yourself that it's still relevant, but you can change the how. You know, if you don't want to do it through Instagram, social media, you know, you can change the how. You know, you can sell it through a retailer or a wholesaler, whatever way. And if there are issues, I said, go back to your notes and to class 1 and evaluate the hows. You have made a list of hows in class 1. Okay. So have a look at them, decide and replan your activities if necessary. So that was that aspect. Then remember, I've only just pushed the stuff together today. I've still got to go through it and decide what I must take out of it. So this is what you asked in here, is create a schedule that helps you go back to the drawing board. I was a bit confused because that came from Mark Bevan in Eastern Australia. And then I realized, I think what he meant here was what I eventually put out after thinking about it. That you know, you create a schedule for things that you want to do, okay? And I like, it can be step 1, step 2, it can be time schedules, it can be so on. So so go back to your intent, your idea, and then see that what you have scheduled to do every day and month actually is in line with that original things that you put on your drawing board. Okay. And then I said, yeah, is your goal clear and defined? And prioritize. Sorry, I must change that word. All your work, measurable. How do you know you've succeeded? The question that you put there. Okay, achievable. Create a schedule of tasks to cover essential steps. Essential steps. So it's so and so on. Relevant. Is everything relevant to your grand purpose? And I'm assuming from my own experience that people don't give enough time for a lot of things they've got to do, and so you work 24/7, and I think that is not. Although I did it myself and I still do it myself, I don't believe it's the right thing to do. I'm really trying to get out of that habit consciously every day, but it's not easy when you're in that habit. So yeah. So review regularly. Are you progressing? So rethink the how. So that's how I.
Yeah, no, that makes sense now. Yeah, that does make sense. Yeah.
So, things, how to motivate yourself. Maybe you can contribute something here. I've just really again said, remember why you started in class 1. Why you started this whole process. And this is something that I've always done. I don't know if you've ever done it or not, but I've always, any little success, I don't know, you celebrate it. You maybe go out and have a cup of coffee and a donut or something, and Sue and I do that a lot. When you got little things that we go and celebrate, and by celebrating and emphasizing those small little things, maybe a customer bought something, okay, and it's your first purchase, you go out and celebrate. Don't have to go out, but you celebrate at home. And then so that's when I've always believed in creating a working environment around you that you love, around your desk, okay, maybe in the room if you've got that privilege, but otherwise, whatever you like, painting, sayings, boards, flowers, plants, you create a working environment that is yours, okay, and be patient, because we always, when we start out in a business, nature, you are impatient. You just want everything to happen. You're pushing things and you're wondering why they're not happening. And I put there, honor your priorities. You've created them in the previous one. So, don't go off a tangent. Also, one of my failings, I go off a tangent regularly. So, I don't know if you've got anything to add to that particular slide of how to motivate you. How do you, do you have ways of motivating yourself? Do you read success stories, perhaps?
Read which? Success stories.
Success stories, I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes, but not so much read success stories, but sometimes, I like to, and it's like really left field. I don't do it much now, but I used to do it a bit, when I was in sort of some of those higher level roles and that.
Yeah.
But I used to watch like little 3 to 5 minute videos, ironically, around things like bodybuilders. Like bodybuilders, like male bodybuilders.
Okay.
Because it's such a, taking yourself to the outer limits of your abilities,
Okay.
Not that there was anything about bodybuilding per se that was appealing as such, but it was just that absolute dedication dedication to what they ate, dedication to their exercise regime, dedication to getting the appropriate rest, you know, the dedication to everything about what they were doing. And I've probably moved away from bodybuilding now to some of the, you know, like Japanese practices, like around tea ceremonies and things like that, which are not as aggressive, but just as powerful and potent, you know. So and I just sort of found that as a good reminder. Like, so what I would sort of do is I like the imagery, and those bodybuilding videos tended to have like motivational music and really motivating dialogue and imagery. And for me, I like, you know, what I used to do, I don't do it anymore, but what I used to do with those videos is before I started my work day, you know, I just watch one or two of them.
Okay.
And that would sort of get my mind into a certain context, and it wasn't an aggressive context or anything like that. It was just like a determination, a persistence, you know, just turn up and do what you need to do no matter what, you know.
Yeah.
So if I'm not feeling well today, or if I'm not feeling very motivated, or if I'm concerned about, you know, what I think's ahead during the day or whatever, it's just doesn't matter. You just get in and do it, you know. So yeah.
Okay.
So that was the sort of stuff that, you know, I used to do, but now it's sort of more, you know, I was doing my own little videos, as you know. We both were there for a while, and that sort of now morphed into listening to audiobooks in the car, you know, on the way.
Okay, yeah.
And you know, like the subject matter, you know, I choose to, you know, a certain context which, you know, really appeals to me, and I like to start the day like that now.
Okay. Anything else?
Well, I think the other part of the motivation is at the end of the day, just reflecting on how the day went. You know, did I move forward today? Am I a step closer to my grand? Because I think review is a really important process, because how else do you determine whether you're making progress or not?
A daily
even on
review,
those,
you think, or a week?
Yeah, daily review. You know,
Okay.
What can I do tomorrow which is going to take me a step further from where I ended up today? And if I went backwards today, you know, what do I need to make sure I'm not doing tomorrow?
Yeah.
To, you know, find myself in the same situation. And I think that daily review is important, because it doesn't just have to be about, you know, your grand purpose or something, although, you know, that's an ideal point of focus, but it can just be about your life in general, you know. So have I had a good day today, and why was it a good day, or why wasn't it a good day, and take personal responsibility. Oh, because someone over there did this, or someone said, no, it's not about that. It's about me. What did I do, or what didn't I do, or, you know, what opportunities did I take advantage of? What opportunities did I miss? You know, so
Okay.
there's nothing clearer than a retrospective review.
Okay, it's interesting. I've never done that. So it's probably one of the things I've been missing. I agree with you. I think it will most probably be quite powerful if you did have to practice it.
And it's a good way to finish your day, because you're sort of unpacking your day and hopefully not going to sleep with unfinished business on your mind, you know. So.
Yeah. Okay. Then I've just again, it's something I think this one Deval came up with, without giving any content to it. Okay. Practical tips and tricks to boost your endeavors. In fact, she said something else, wasn't boost your endeavors, to boost your idea. I think she came up with practical tips and tricks to boost your idea. Okay. And I thought endeavors is more active than if you want to boost something, it needs to be an active thing that you boost.
Not a theoretical thing.
So that's why I changed it. So cultivate a self-care routine that energizes and nourishes you. So I think that's very important. That's something and you know, it can be anything. You know, it could be a meditation, it could be a run, a 5-mile run or something, but a routine that you really enjoy. And I said, yeah, create simple goals that work for you. Will build momentum for growing your business your way. The emphasis of all that is your. So I haven't said anywhere else goal. I'm not really goal orientated. Okay, in going the business, I'm still not sure about that. If I'll reword that in some way. But anyway, then the other thing is that, you know, we often decide to write down tasks and things, and then with a review, we find they're actually not doable. Okay, you just can't do them. So you need to find your doable action steps, just as a tip, as opposed to just doing theoretical things that you found on Google or something, and you think it's a good idea to do. Okay, and then this is one of my stumbling blocks here. If you start things and then don't finish, you won't see results. You must be consistent to build momentum. Take consistent action and watch your business grow steadily. Finally, I boil this down to one word, and then or 2 words, and then I'll say it, you know, as part of the class thing. But I just wrote it down there because I know that that's important. You need to for growth and to boost things.
Because there's that saying too, which I think there's a lot of truth in it, is that, you know, most people, maybe all people, you know, will start fast, but very few people finish strong. You know, so it's the sort of imagery around, like, you know, marathon runners or you know, triathlons.
It's probably fun. You talk about imagery. I'll probably find an image that sums that up. You know.
No. So, and that's the thing, you know, it's not about a fast start; it's about a strong finish. You know. So,
yeah. And then I've said you need to look for, and appreciate support. Everyone needs support. Okay? You cannot be a loner in a home business. Okay. So, you know, you might be able to find a trainer, a coach, a mentor, or you might be able to find a friend that is there for you. You might be able to, some of the work that you've got to do, you might be able to contract that out to somebody who becomes like a strong colleague and motivator, you know, whatever it is. And then the other practical tip is your message simple? So what you're communicating needs to be simple and consistent and evergreen. So I think that,
and I think the consistent with that last dot point too is that, and don't feel that, you know, it's a destination. It's something that's continually evolving. You know. You know, you know that sort of question in the back of your mind is always, is there a better way? You know, so.
Yeah. Is there a better way? That's the how. Yeah, but I'm thinking, when I'm thinking about the message, you know, I've written an ebook. You might have seen it some time ago about you know, building your own business, your 1-sentence business liner, whatever. Okay. And that sort of sums up what your business does, okay, and your product does. I mean, of course, you can change it and so on, but the idea is to sort of get people used to seeing it with various articles you're going to write and content you're going to write. You know, it's going to be sort of in their face somewhere at the beginning, the end, or wherever.
Yeah, no, that's true.
The last thing that I thought here is, you know, to talk about success stories, because remember, this class is about maintaining momentum. And I just did a quick, I think it was actually last night by mistake, but it came up in one of my other searches. I found senior people that have made a great success on Instagram. Okay. And you see these old dollies, okay? You know, one was in like personalized or homemade jewelry. Okay. One was in fashion. One was in well, a fashion like consultant or something. Another one was in making something or other. And I'm hoping to get back to it tonight or first thing tomorrow morning if I get up early. So what do you think? You know, where people have been on Instagram, older people, they've been successful, you know, I would imagine that's going to be encouraging.
I would have thought so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But that's where I end at the moment. I haven't, that won't be difficult because I've found them already. I just got to maybe turn it into some sort of story that I can tell rather than, yeah.
No, I think that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah, so that's basically class 4 once I've finished it. And I don't think there's anything more that needs to be. Do you think, you know?
No, I think that's going to fill up your time very quickly. I really do.
Yeah. Anything else that sort of, you know, maybe maintaining the momentum in business?
No, I think you've covered a good range there. Yeah, and I think that's good.
Yeah. Okay. No, well, that's great. Thanks for sharing that. And yeah.
No, that's good. Looking really positive.
Yeah. No, it's looking good. And just
so did you have any feedback from your English speaking group as to what they're doing on the weekend at all? Or?
No, they're busy while we're busy now. Okay, they talk on Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
This time.
I do that. Okay. Yeah.
So she said she would come back to me when they finished their meeting, and then I'll let you know. So you know, if I'm still
just on Telegram or something. Yeah,
I'll stick it on Telegram for you, and
yeah,
you can perhaps wake up to it.
Yep.
No, what time do you go to bed at night time?
You know, between 9:30 and 10, I suppose, usually somewhere around there.
Yeah, I'm between 9 and 9:30. Unless, of course, like last night, whatever, if you work into a deadline. But I get, you know, my creativity ability diminishes, you know, from about 2 o'clock in the afternoon steadily. You know, when I get
I prefer mornings too myself.
No, all my writing historically I did in the morning, and even researching, you know, because I can research quickly, fast. I can, you know, but in the afternoon I take a cat nap after lunch. Our lunch is usually somewhere around 2 o'clock, and then you know, but it just helps me, you know, keep awake basically. So catnapping, I find, well, energizes, I suppose, rather than keep awake. I can keep awake, but it gives you that little bit more energy.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, then. So are we on for Sunday as usual at this stage?
Yes, at this stage, yeah.
Yeah, because you were just planning on going out on Saturday night?
Yeah. No, it's just Saturday night. I'm going to some show. We got tickets. We got given some sort of tickets for something, which it was months ago, and it turns out for this Saturday. So we'll see.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Sunday, yeah. All right.
Okay then. Well, I'll talk to you then.
Yeah. Okay, Don. Thanks for sharing.
Keep up the good work.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Okay.
Okay then. See you.